Okay, in class today, we had finished talking about how the code works for doing the left-hand Riemann sum. So what we want to do is convert this to a right-hand sum. Now, the beauty of this, doing this on video, is you can run this video faster or slower. If you need to stop it while you're typing, just pause it. You can replay parts of it if you miss something. So just run it at your speed and we'll make it work. Okay. Now, the beauty of the right sum is, let me just annotate this. See if I can pull down a pen. Okay. So we're simply going to be switching which edge of the box we're using. So I think I can annotate here. Yes. So this green top would be what the rectangle would look like if I were doing a right sum instead of a left sum. So you can see that when we did the left sum, this corner right here, okay, it would be the first X value in our X2 list, and the Y value that is associated with that gives us the height of the rectangle. If I want to do a right sum, I want to be using the second X value and the Y value associated with that to get the height of the rectangle. And I'll do the same thing for each of these. So here we go. This is what they should look like once I make them, roughly like this. And we even have one that comes up here and over and down like that. So we can see those rectangles are then going to be over the curve instead of under the curve. But we have, that's what the right sums would look like. Okay. And you can see we don't use, I'm going to put an X through this. We will not use, whoops, I'm sorry. I have to switch back to my drawing implement here. Draw. Okay. We're going to get rid of this first dot. Whoops. I don't know why it's not letting me draw. Clear out of there and annotate again. Okay, screen, there we go. And let me pick a different color. Okay, so I'll pick this red now. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this dot because we're not going to be using that. But remember, the first time through, we didn't use that corner, so we'll be using that instead. So if you look at these, the values, the X and Y values that we're picking are, whoops, the second one, should line up like that. Draw again, pick it again. Okay, so the second one, sure why it's not drawing, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, and the seventh one. Okay, and we're going to leave out the first one. Okay, so we did the left sum, we used the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Now we're going to use the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. All right, so in order to do that, it's going to be almost the same code. So we might as well copy what we did for case one. Right. And let me copy that now. Copy. All right. And if we do case two, we won't be executing case one. So let me paste this in here. So copying and pasting is a very quick way of reproducing code that's similar. Okay, so I used, I think on your Chromebook, it's probably Control-C to copy the code and Control-V to paste it. On a Mac, it's Command-C, Command-V. So I have exactly the same code for the right sum as I do for the left. So if I were to run it now, let me clear off the annotations and let me go back to running the code. So if I run the code now, this is what type 1 looks like. If I run it with type 2, it's the same thing because I didn't change what the case would be. Okay, so when we're switching on the word type, when type is 1, we should be doing a left sum, and when type is 2, we'll jump to the right sum, but I haven't changed the code to make it a right sum. Okay, so the key is to draw the rectangle. I want to use the same X values that I did the first time. We're just going to extend the rectangle up to the next Y value. So all I need to do is wherever I had Y of IT, I want to get the next Y value. So if I make both of those Y of IT plus 1, I'll be taking, instead of on the first time through the loop, instead of using the first Y value, I'll be using the second, which will give me the line I want. Second time through the loop, it'll take the third Y value, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then the seventh one, which is the one we didn't use before. All right. And then when I do the area calculation, since the height is now based on the next Y value, I also want to change, whoops, sorry about that. Error there, hit the wrong thing. Okay. I want to also make that IT plus 1. So we're using the next Y value. That's what IT plus 1 means. All right. So all of the Y to ITs simply become Y to IT plus 1. And then that should work. Okay. So we're going to get rid of these comments because they were just fillers holding the space. And it should now work for case 2. I think I'm on case 2. There we have it. We did the right sum. All right. Now, what you can see is the area of those rectangles exceeds the area of the curve. When I did the left sum, that's type 1. The area included by the rectangles was underneath the area of the curve. So the truth lies somewhere in between, all right? The other thing that we saw in class is when we increase the number of rectangles, the left sum appears to fill in more of the area under the curve. And now if we switch that to a right sum, there will be excess area, but there's not as much excess area. So as n gets bigger and bigger, the right and the left sums may close in on the answer. And one of them is too high and one is too low. So it gives us a margin of error. We can say that the answer is within a certain range. Okay, so change that code and begin your worksheet tonight. You'll have a little bit of time in the next 2 nights to complete the 2 worksheets that I've assigned.